I love palm wine, I no go lie. Na inside shrine, I go marry my wife. I never regret to be a Congo. You are wicked, you are nasty, the gods are wise.
I love palm wine, no, I no go lie.
Na inside shrine, I go marry my wife.
I never regret
To be a Congo, you are wicked, you are nasty.
because of wine.
My papa na tapa, my mama na seller, my sister na server, I remain a drinker. My name na Larry, my name na Bookie, then call me Basics, the gods are wise.
I love palm wine, no, I no go lie. Na inside shrine, I go marry my wife. I never regret
Try to be a Congo, you will get granati.
because of wine. I love palm wine, no, I no go lie.
I no go lie, yo.
Inside shrine, I go marry my wife. I never regret to be a Congo. You will get nasty because of wine.
Caro, yellow CC, Caro, yellow CC. Caro, take my money, follow Oyinbo. Oyinbo run away, Caro take cry. Caro,
Yellow CC,
Caro.
yellow CC.
Ah,
I am Samson Olusegun Ajibade, the Permanent Secretary, Public Service Office, Office of the Head of Service. I was born in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. And why? My father was on missionary journey. We are members of the CNS church. So he was one of the prophets that was sent to the east to establish and grow the church. We came back to Lagos when Ojukwu declared on radio that all non-Easterners should go. He can no longer guarantee the safety of non-Easterners. That was before the breakout of the Civil War. So we came back to Lagos. Eventually, I started my elementary school at Lagos African Church Primary School, Ukutemeta. We were then living with the Dadas at Freeman Street, Ukutemeta. So I attended Lagos African Church Primary School. When I was there, I was also very short then, but you can't tell me no way. So I'm into sports. I was doing sack race for the school. No sack race in those days.
What I know Samson for, a sportsman, likes boxing, football, very good footballer. Apart from those things, Samson happened to be a very, very agile person. Very, very athletic.
I play football. I'm in the boxing club of the school and also play table tennis. I represented the division, Badagry division in its entirety. I left the primary school for my secondary school, Badagry Grammar School. Then we used to do exams into many secondary schools, whichever you want to. There are some schools where I was given admission, but because if I go there, I won't be in the boarding house. And I've always had story about boarding house, the way they come from on holidays, the way they behave when they are coming, they talk discussing about their hostel life. So I opted for Badagry Grammar School because if I go to Badagry Grammar School, I will be in the boarding house. If I opt for Baptist Academy, which is very close to my house, I will be a day student. But because I want to enjoy that boarding house experience, so I opted for Badagry Grammar School. So I got admission to Badagry Grammar School January 1973. There is this bush we call Igbo Otokwe behind our school. We have escapades there where we go for cashew, for bush rats, during holidays, all those things, we go on this expenditure. And it's quite interesting. Can't forget most of my classmates. An incident even happened I could remember when General Gawan was overthrown. Myself and Tafa Bakari were in the same class. We had a class captain then, we don't want him to be our captain again. We just went and copied all those speech made by the coup plotters then, and we overthrew him through that means. And he stayed. We did this successfully. I enjoyed Badagry Grammar School, no doubt about it. And that is why I cannot forget that my alma mater. Result was delayed, so I had to have a little stint at the local government. I worked there for a year at Jeremy. After working for 1 year in the local government, I moved to Baptist Academy in Banikuru for my HSC. And to God be all the glory, at Baptist Academy, I was in the arts. And at the end of my HSC, I came out with the best results in arts.
Our principal then was also a Reverend Minister, Reverend J.A. Adegbite, who was the principal of Baptist Academy then, and he teaches us religious knowledge. And each time the system he uses is that each Bible passage that he refers to, he asks each student to take it. And I remember one particular instance that actually gave Shegun a nickname. We refer to him as Jerusalem. Oh, Jerusalem. You know, they gave him a particular Bible passage to read. And, you know, he got so emotional, you know, about it. And then he started to, you know, almost got weeping at the destruction of Jerusalem then. At that particular, I cannot remember that particular Bible passage, but after it, you know, at the end of that class, people just started calling him, oh, Jerusalem.
Again, admission to the University of Lagos. That is another story. So when I gained admission into the University of Lagos to read political science, my life in UNILAG was very eventful because from day one, I joined the Windakers Club, Okay Guys Club. I was not in the Grand Council before I became the chief. I was not a member of the Executive Council, but nobody knew. Because they always see me in the forefront, either singing or beating the drums.
Shegun can drum. I give it to him. In fact, he was one of those people that taught me how to drum. He can also sing. He became all in all. He was super carried. He can sing, he can drum. In fact, and when it comes to the issue of dancing steps, give it to him.
He has this passion for drums and songs. He can sing for hours and at the same time beat the drums. He's extremely enigmatic, almost restless. He can be on for hours.
He enjoys drumming and he can sing from morning till night. He won't feel it. And he's a very good dancer. You need to see his dancing steps. You will even fall in love with dances. So he's one person, like I said, who enjoys what he does. So if you give him an opportunity, the latitude to start singing, you will not know when you are also dancing to the tunes.
Whenever my husband offends me and don't know how to appease me, they will be singing, "Ìyàwó tó lóhùn ò ṣe mọ́, bí ò ṣe mọ́ kò mí á lọ." I said, "Are you talking to me?" "No, it's not you. I'm only singing my song." Then both of us will start laughing. And that's where we're going to end this story.
But I will show you some of those stuff we used to enjoy in those days. As a drumito, a songito, and chifo-la-la. There were a lot of them in the service. Bangbode is a chief. Chief is a chief too. it was quite on records that during my administration then, we bought a civilian bus for the permanent cast club. And I want to give credit to my father then, the retired PAMSEC Minister of Information, Fola Adeyemi. When I was the chief, he was the father. We bought a bus. During the holidays, we were going about soliciting for funds from our working members, the fellowships.
During his time, it was the time that the then Oba of Lagos, Oba Adeyinka Oyekon, was initiated as a fellow, as a super fellow of the Kegas Club. It was during his time the registrar got initiated. It was during his time the vice chancellor got initiated into the Parents Club, and he broke a lot of records. I remember one particular incident. We were at school. We had our usual congregation on a Friday, and the boss was there. We just got the hint that there were no telephones then. We were to attend a gyration. Is it at Calabar? And lo and behold, guys, we shouldn't miss out. We took off around 11 p.m. at night. Information got across, Yaba Tech members, telecommunications members, and us was the point of convergence, and for the fact that we had a vehicle, and we took off from Lagos to Calabar.
So it was like a tag team when we get out then to gyrate. And of course, you can begin to imagine the kind of life we lived, having to travel across the nooks and crannies of the country. It was relatively peaceful then. We lived, sometimes we will be going to the north. We won't leave Lagos until around 6, 7 p.m.
So I was fortunate to have joined that club at the University of Ibadan while he was in University of Lagos. So, because of the level of interaction, traveling here and there as members of that club, Kegas Club, so he's our chief. So we used to, so they are the ones who take us around. So they are the ones we follow. I have the ticket to enter anywhere with him. The moment I put my one finger salute, what we have in the Supreme Comradium is one finger salute. That is the recognition. Is it Ajibade? Just this, you are carried. So we use a number of slangs, so I don't want to go into that now.
Obus Lagos. What is Obus Lagos? Obon Lago. When you want to finish, you say Obus Lagos Rumuku Jukumus. Obon Lago Rumo Diamo. Irarami Diamo. Finished from Unilag, went for my NYC, Cross River State then, not divided then, Cross River State, served in School of Basic Studies, Akankpa. Back, searching for a job, going to NDA, 3 different occasions, to join the military, no success. And graciously, I went back for my master's, 1985, same political science. Finished successfully in 1986. The search continues until I came into the service. My trajectory in the state public service started in 1988 after graduation from the University of Lagos. Masters of Political Science, 1986. It's not an easy journey. I never dreamt of ever coming into the state civil service. But as destiny will have it, I found myself attending the interview and being appointed into the state public service. We started on the 18th of January, 1988. Looking back, I have a lot to be grateful to God. Moved from the Ministry of Works to the Ministry of Transportation when the Ministry of Transportation was severed and separated from the Ministry of Works. So I was one of the first set of admin officers that was deployed to the Ministry of Transportation. From there, after serving there for about 1 or 2 years, I was deployed to the Central Licensing Authority as the secretary of the authority under the SYZ head of service, Alhaji Y.A. Balogun, popularly known and called Ajo. I served under him, served under retired Mr. Taiwo Olatunji. In all, I've traversed about 14 MDAs, worked in the Ministry of Information, sometimes worked in the Ministry of Chieftaincy, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. I've worked in a pioneer staff of Office of Special Advisor on Mineral Resources Development. I've worked in the Ministry of Education. I was one time board secretary of Lagos State Printing Corporation. I also worked in the Political and Legislative Powers Bureau as the Director of Legislative Matters. I also served as the Director Admin and HRO in the Office of the Deputy Governor. I also worked as Director of Welfare Matters, Public Service Office, before I was deployed to the Ministry of Wealth Creation, from where I was appointed Permanent Secretary.
Ajibade happens to be one of the staff that met me in the system, and he has proven himself to be extremely dedicated and willing to learn, and also committed to the cause of the ordinary citizens in terms of provisions of quality service to the service itself. And he is one person that will go extensively all out to ensure that he solves problems that affects others and make it very, very conducive for people to thrive within the system. Ajibade were very outspoken, but at the same time has a very good listening ear. A committed public servant.
That his style was an endearing style. A style that made him endear himself to many people. Patient, never offended. And he carried out his responsibilities in a trustworthy manner and in a manner that did not leave any room for doubt as to the authenticity of whatever he was saying or whatever he was doing.
He worked with me when I was the head of service. I want to thank him from the bottom of my heart for his loyalty. He never once disobeyed me. I haven't seen him being angry before. Anytime I give the instruction, it's always, okay, man, and it will be done. He made the work so enjoyable for me when I was the head of service. So I thank him for that.
A very, very astute professional, someone that the service has gained immensely from. I say it without any fear of contradiction that he is one of the best individuals that I have come across in the Lagos State Public Service. This isn't because he's the permanent secretary that serves with me, but largely because I have the unique opportunity to appraise him both passionately and dispassionately, and I say it without fear of contradiction, that the service is indeed losing a very, very, very valuable jewel.
But here he was. He would always, in the morning, come round, say hello to everybody, check on you, at work. That was Mr. Ajibade, always looking out for your welfare. Is there anything wrong? If he sees you that you are moody, he will ask you immediately, what is wrong with you? Is everything okay? So I saw him as somebody that cared for his staff, looked out for them, probably because he was in welfare department. So he would always ask after you, you know, checking out and, you know, asking after you.
Very friendly. He knows how to gather people together without offending anybody. And he's somebody that you can just call up anytime. Cappo, can you please advise me on this? It's not everybody that you can just call up. You don't have to think about what will he say or very free with everybody. And I find him to be very knowledgeable. I think he has, during the course of his tour of service, he has gone through so many ministries and he has a wide knowledge of the service.
Someone that is very passionate about the service. Very passionate. He has so many stories to tell you, you know, to encourage you in service, to let you know, how the service has progressed, where there are challenges. He's not scared to say what he feels. You know, he's not that kind of person that will say, because I don't want people to think that, you know, I'm not in support of something, that he will hide his feelings. He will tell you the way it is. He's a very candid person. Very, very candid.
Highly placed custodian of knowledge when it comes to admin in the state. So, you know, when you have that type of knowledge, having traversed several agencies, ministries, he has that wealth of knowledge. And, you know, whether you like it or not, you are going to meet that type of person leaving the service with that amount of knowledge he has. I'm sure even when he leaves, people will still be consulting him. I'm very, very sure, because of his very vast knowledge of the service.
He's an humble person. And what I really like about him, Mr. Ajibade is God-fearing. He does not miss the fellowship we hold on Fridays. And as a result of that, he encouraged me too. So I don't also miss it. If I'm around, I'm always there.
I've never seen Mr. Ajibade get angry, you know. Our relationship was very cordial because he's the kind of person that corrects in love. He's not about to put you down in the course of official assignments. He tries as much as possible to carry everybody along. He's a team player. He doesn't look at people that, oh, because you are on the senior side, he wants to take side with you. He would want to see that every situation is handled in a way that it benefits both the petitioner and the petitioned.
He's a socialite. He's very jovial, social. Outside, there is never a time that you want to call him for any social events. He will oblige you. He likes party. So, and he loves his children very well, and he loves his family.
You know, he has a subtle way, very subtle way of talking to people, or subtle ways of convincing people to change from whatever hard stance that they have.
He is able to bring a lot of people together, you know, and he will give instructions. We won't even question it. So in his way, he's a leader. He's a leader, and I believe is something that he has been used to, you know, having been leading several groups. You know, I told you he was chief at Kegas, he was governor in several workshops and all that. So he's a born leader, actually. You can give that to him, and he brings everybody together as one, and you work under him without stress, because he won't even stress you. In fact, he may not even be directly involved. He will just come, you know, give you pep talk, and you are ready to continue working. And he will just ask, how is it going, you know? And before you know it, you finish the work. He keeps encouraging you. Before you know it, the work is done, you know? So he knows how to bring people together and work with them, or through them.
Okay, Master, so the last question now.
The home front has been very supportive. I got married in 1989. I'm blessed with 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls.
He's a family man. At times at home, you will see him within his children as if they are of the same age group. He's a family man. He's a distant partner, even to me and to the children. We don't hide anything. After close of work every day, we used to discuss about the problems of the day and how to solve it. We don't hide anything from each other. Likewise, the children too don't hide anything from us too. We are one good family with one love.
He's a family man, a consummate family man. Somebody who loves the family. Somebody who loves neighbors. Of course, I will not be surprised that he loves neighbors. It's biblical. Love your neighbor as yourself.
He's a very playful person. So, and there's nobody cannot give nickname. There was a story I even happened where, and it was like, Lekwa Israel. And even this TV super story, that super story of that year, the Lion of Mugun. Then I was not looking, I was like, Lao of Mugun. And he was just laughing. Then he was like, Lao of Mugun, what's Lao of Mugun? Different things. So he was not that too strict. I can even count how many times he has flogged me when I was small. He usually punish, and his punishment too is not that strict. So you all were gone Omo Ojuniwa. Once he does change his face, we already understand what it means. So we know that he was not that harsh on us.
There's nothing I cannot tell him. That's how good we are. Even up to our relationships, he helps us, he advises us. We can really sit down and relate and say, Dad, do you know that this thing happened between me and my girlfriend and everything? That's for the ones that I need to, if it's not something that's supposed to be private. But. And then he puts me through and tells me, okay, what's the problem? He sits down, we're like really gist, like I'm talking to my own age mate.
Father is always about book first. So when we were small and everything, just come and tell him, our teacher told us to pay this thing. So far it's about education. He will give you and all that. And my dad too is also strict, but not like strict that will fear him. No. When he comes back from work and you just hear that horn, the sound of the horn, no matter how scattered the sitting room is, you all jump and clear. So he's that type of person, but he's also very friendly. We did not that fear. No. He relates with us very well. So and he plays a lot with us. And now my children are the ones enjoying it now because he backs them, sing for them, dances. So there's no more difference. What I enjoyed as a child, my children are now enjoying it from.
Time my dad will ever hug me that I can remember was when I was in 300 level, and he hugged me with so much excitement. He didn't even hug me on my master's graduation with excitement like that. I was the one that even went to hug him. So it's pretty funny that he was excited to see me in 300 level then. Now, it's good at educational compliments. It's good at encouraging you, like, Tolu, keep it up, you're doing well, you could get the scholarship. Do this, you're doing well. But it's not good with general compliments, like saying you look good, or I love you, or I miss you. One day I went to meet him and I was like, Daddy, I love you. Say you love me too. And he did like this. Yeah. That was his response. I always wondered, though, how he toasted my mom, but I heard he was the bad guy.
Now to the staff of Public Service Office. I think it's grace for you to pass through the Public Service Office. The challenges are there. The honor and respect is there if you get it right. So, and you can only get it right when you have the support of your entire staff. They are all very active, very hardworking. They gave all the support. I
know he has traversed the service. He's worked in the Civil Service Commission. He has worked in PSO. He's worked in so many agencies. So, of course, he's picked up what you call institutional knowledge about the service. And that is what he impacts, easily on those that work with him. So yes, he abides by the rules, but at the same time, he applies compassion when even dealing with issues. He believes that man is not made for, the rules. The rules are made for man. So he looks at it, he looks at cases on his own merit, and he will introduce a humane angle into it.
He's a nice person. I have known him when I came into public service office in 2016. Then he was the Director, Welfare Matters. He was able to handle his department very well. And I was not surprised when he was appointed the permanent secretary. He's very proactive. He's nice. He's an administrator. He understands the rudimentary of this office.
Mr. Ajibade is an erudite scholar and highly resourceful. Is undoubtedly an administrative guru, and he has a passion for human capital development. He's a mentor, very creative and innovative. Mr. Ajibade is highly inspirational. He inspires those of us working with him, and of course in other MDs in the service. And is always tailored towards the attainment of organizational goals via their work ethics and their targets. Honestly, he's somebody that builds team spirit among colleagues.
Somebody that you would like to work with. Coming to the office on a daily basis makes me happy because I know that my boss is somebody that has listening ears. He lets you be. He does not hound you, he does not micromanage you. He lets your ideas and expressions be heard and known. He looks at things different. Even when everybody's like, oh God, this is the way we see, this is the way we're going. He always has a humane, different way of looking at things that, okay, in spite of all this, how else can we look at it? So it's somebody that is fun to work with here. And he has serious jokes. He's down to earth. There's no Oga or Moshe relationship between us. We work as colleagues and he respects everybody.
He's all knowing somehow. He has answer for every question asked him. Every question, every answer. As I said before, he's very intelligent.
He's a straightforward person. And he will never mislead you. And he will never tell you lies. He's a pastor.
Àjọ máa ń ṣe competition àti kọ report ni. But ó máa ń gbìyànjú pé kémi tó kọ report mi tán òun ti kọ tòun tán. And mo máa ń rí pé àwọn nǹkan tó máa ń ṣe ó máa ń múnádóko dáadáa. Gẹ́gẹ́ bọ́n ṣe máa ń sọ láàárín àwọn sójà, a lè pè ní fine officer.
Well, we are looking forward to having you in Allah House. You've been a good supporter of Allah House, a good facilitator for the meeting of all our various needs. And I personally and officially wish you well as you approach your pens down. You've served diligently and you deserve everything that you get from the system. And as I've said, we are looking forward to signing you into Allah House to begin a new career as a retired permanent secretary. So congratulations.
My loving husband, Mr. Samson Ajibade, congratulations on your retirement. I pray to God you will not retire into penury, you will not retire into sickness, you will not retire into disaster, and you will not retire into death. The Lord will strengthen you more even after the service, and we shall be together for many, many years in good health, in joy, in happiness, and in prosperity. Congratulations, my love. I love you, and I will continue to love you.
All the MDs, all the entire staff, I say a very big thank you to them all. So, God Almighty, that is seeing me through successfully, we also see them through. So àwa ń lọ ó dìgbò ó ṣe ká má fi kú yàrá wa ká má fòṣìyà so àwa ń lọ ó dìgbà ó ṣe ká má fi kú yàrá wa ká má fòṣìyà àìsàn wọ́n sọ pé ẹ̀yin tó kù kẹ́ ẹ múra ẹ̀yin tó kù kẹ́ ẹ múra Àjíbádé gòkè odò káfárá tó já ẹ̀yin tó kù kẹ́ ẹ múra. Bye bye ó dìgbà kan náà tún máa ríra o.
ẹ máa sẹ́mu méjì bíi rẹ̀ ò ẹ mú ogun rọ. ẹ má máa fi gúdàwé fàmí mẹ́mú ogun rọ. ẹ máa fi stout wé fàmí ẹ mú ogun rọ. gbogbo ọmọge tàdíreke. gbogbo ọmọge tàdíreke o. ọlọ́mọge sọ̀dí sọ́kọ. sọ́kọ. ọlọ́mọge sọ̀dí sọ́kọ o. Oya gbogbo ọmọge tàdíreke. Gbogbo ọmọge tàdíreke o. Abebi o, abebi. Abebi o, abebi. Mami water say me a come underwater. Mami water say me a come underwater. I go underwater to see mami water. Aboki na wetin you dey see o. Aboki na wetin you dey see o. Oya sunwọ̀n yàrin ya, igi tente.